Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. So EDWIN SIFUNA was not happy with what SHOLLEI said during the event in Taita Taveta County. It is alleged that soon after Bishop Nyangale and Sheikh Abdi Aziz made some comments that only sought to mean that demonstration is illegal here in Kenya, that the Bible and the Quran does not permit the move to peacefully demonstrate. So SHOLLEI rose in responding to what the bishop and the sheikh made, those remarks which the two made. And she decided to rise up and amplify the narrative that since the sheikh and the bishop have said that the Bible does not allow demonstrations, then that means they have been given that morale to now continue to deal with the demonstrators. The bishop and the sheikh seems to have made a very, very bad statement, because there are people who are supposed to preach peace. They could have unleashed the narrative in a friendly way, but what they chose to do, they said that it is not biblical to peacefully picket. So that's the reason why EDWIN SIFUNA has come out guns blazing on SHOLLEI, going to an extent of saying that it is a shame that SHOLLEI was his lecturer at the University of Nairobi during those days when he used to take law. So while addressing the congregation, the deputy speaker thanked the church bishop for his sermon against demonstrations. And she said that, I used to think demonstrations are only illegal in the law, but the bishop and the sheikh have told us that it is also not biblical. They have therefore given us a go-ahead to deal with demonstrators. That is what SHOLLEI said.
Leo katika kutoka kanisa, nafikiri nimesikia kutoka Bishop Nyangale na Sheikh Abdi Aziz, umesema kwamba mimi nilikuwa nafikiria maandamano ni hatia katika sheria, lakini leo umetufunza kwamba pia ni dhambi mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. So kanisa imetupatia nguvu tuweze kupambana na wale watu. Leo katika kutoka.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that our constitution, our 2010 constitution, provides a clear way of doctrine of separation of power. The parliament, or rather the National Assembly, the judiciary and the executive are three arms of the government. They work seamlessly, but the National Assembly is supposed to provide checks and balances on the executive. The judiciary is supposed to make sure that the executive does things in conformity of the law, the doctrine of separation of powers. The only problem with this regime, or with what Kenyans are experiencing right now, is that the executive and the parliament are on one side. Right now, in fact, the executive is going to bed with the parliament. So now the only arm of government that is looking at Kenya's affairs is the judiciary. But the parliament has been totally compromised. Parliament that is led by Wetangula. So if you listen to what the words that came from SHOLLEI, one can easily say that there is no separation of power there. Because in fact, it will be very, very sad to see that everywhere William Ruto goes to, you would see Moses Wetangula there. That Moses Wetangula be campaigning for William Ruto. Everywhere they go to, they are always talking about the same thing. So how will Moses Wetangula provide those needed checks and balances on the executive. So that's why I agree with Edwin Sifuna, who said that, and he was reacting to that statement. He said that he feels overly shameful that SHOLLEI was his lecturer. Now, that's a statement that he kept on emphasizing on, because he found that this idea, this idea of saying that the demonstration is totally illegal, whereas Gladys SHOLLEI, because she studied law, I personally, we didn't study law, but we know that there is that separation of power. So what I agree with the Edwin Sifuna's remarks here, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I agree with him, because he is trying to remind Gladys SHOLLEI about what is enshrined in the Constitution. And SHOLLEI knows that this is the truth, but she chooses to mislead the public that hii ni kitu ambayo haiko. So kanisa pia inapoteza watu kabisa, because kanisa inakuja inatoa ile prayer ambayo unashtuka. Let me take you back to the Labor Day. I just want to prove to you that kanisa ni kama inapoteza wa Kenya. During Labor Day celebration, which was not well attended, I think it was in the Nyayo Stadium, it was not well attended. So this Labor Day celebration, Archbishop Gitonga made a mockery prayer. That mockery prayer also can be likened to what the Bishop Nyangale and Sheikh Abdi Aziz, the prayers that they made in that event, ni mockery prayer. Back then, Archbishop Gitonga said the following:
watu wa amani na kutangaza amani ndio business zote tusiwe zinaendelea vizuri. Hatutaki maandamano tena kuona katika nchi hii. Tukisungumuza leo na tukiomba katika Labor Day, tunasaidia amani yako yaendelee, na mambo ya mapambano barabarani kuharibu business za watu wakiwa na sherehe sio na maana, tunaikataa katika jina la Yesu. Ni wewe ulichagua Ruto kuwa kiongozi, na siku vile mambo yale yamefanya kwa miezi 7, akiongoza miaka 5 au 10, atapindua Kenya ionekane kama Jerusalem. Wafanyikazi wote wasimama pamoja naye, na neema yako Baba iwe pamoja nao kwa kila wakati wote. Tunaomba Bwana, mambo ya upinzani ukome. Tunamwombea hata Honorable Raila Odinga aweze kuzeeka akiwa na amani. Wakati uko naye ni wa retirement, aretire na amani, na tunamwombea amani.
Yes, that was another mockery prayer. That's why I'm saying that the churches are the ones that are misleading Kenyans. If a whole bishop could make such remarks that demonstrations are not biblical. Right now, there's an issue in Israel. Israel have been demonstrating for 1 month continuously. And Ahmed Nasir reacted to, in his Twitter handle, shared a picture of the look of how Israel looks right now. And I'm sharing that picture. Just check that picture. Those are people, ladies and gentlemen. They are people who are peacefully demonstrating. And they have carried the flag of Israel. This is where William Ruto went to for that prayer. And it is exactly what we are seeing there. Just check the screen very well. It is what is happening in Israel. But you don't see the Prime Minister Netanyahu there complaining much. The reason why demonstration here is taking place is that the protesters fear that the proposed changes in the judiciary will severely curtail its powers, jeopardizing the nation's democratic principles. That is why they're demonstrating. So why is it an offense here in Kenya? Why is Gladys SHOLLEI saying that the churches have said it's not biblical, so we will deal with these demonstrators? That is something that we don't find quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest, Kenya ilitoka katika hizo enzi za mabeperu, hiyo enzi ambao SHOLLEI ni kama anajaribu kuregesha wa Kenya huko. Ukipata Wetangula akiongea anasahau kwamba tuna 2010 constitution, anataka turegee kwa giza. Ukipata hao watu Ndindi Nyoro, Ichungwa, ukipata Sudi, upate mtu yoyote wa UDA anataka turegeshe kwa zile enzi za Moi. Hilo ndio swala ambalo tunasema kwamba halifui dafu hapa Kenya. So the people would not want to be taken back to those days, the days of Moi era. That's why Gladys Sholleei needs to understand that the people's voice matters the most. And even William Ruto knows that. So ladies and gentlemen, kindly tell us below the comment section what you think about this analysis and what you think about this remark from Gladys Sholleei when she says that maandamano ni hatia kabisa, iruhusiwi tena maandamano, hairuhusiwi na Biblia. So ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.